up, HotMakers? Thank you. That was surprising. I was not expecting that.
You always like jump right in, so I figured I'd throw you off today.
You did. Welcome to HotMakes right here on HotMakes. I am Jim from the Edge of Tech, also known as Nerdy J. This is producer Caleb extraordinaire, not Geary.
What?
We have an awesome show for you guys tonight. An awesome guest with us, Frankly Built, will be with us tonight, and we are super pumped to talk a lot of cool stuff that he's doing. And I'm going to jump into that in 1 second. We're just going to dive right into it. But first, don't forget, we are streaming only here on HotMakes channel on YouTube now. So jump on, share the stream out there. Let's get people in. This is going to be an amazing show. Also, if you want to donate, consider hitting us up on the Oreo Fund or whatever you want to call it, fund. There's
Oreo Fund.
Yeah, the link in the description below. And Nightbot will probably throw it up there too.
Yeah, it should be going up in a second. Don't
forget, RMRF, Rocky Mountain Rep Festival, is in April on the 22nd and 3rd, I believe. 22nd and 3rd. Justin's here. He can correct me if I'm wrong on that. And that's going to be a heck of a time. If you haven't signed up and you're planning to go or you want to go, sign up. Let them know you're coming because they're trying to get a good head count to see how many people are going to show up. I believe we have the Rocky Mountain Rep Festival guys on is it next week? 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks from now. Also, I just realized I did not put a link in the description, so I'll fix that right now.
Yeah, we'll do that for them.
Fix that live. Do it live.
22nd and 23rd. It's free. Yes, free is good. So check that out. We're gonna have maybe we'll talk to Frank. Maybe he's gonna be there. I mean, I think he's on the other side of the country, but Denver's easy to fly to, so you never know. You never know.
Who?
Huh?
Who?
Frank.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought. Okay, I didn't know he's on the other side of the country.
I'm guessing.
We'll ask him. We'll ask him when he's on.
Yeah, we'll ask him. I'm pretty sure because he said it was 7 by him. So he's
in the background. We haven't added him yet. He's in the background down there, just like wishing he could say something.
He's screaming at his camera right now. I can see.
Now's the time to say like all the bad things.
Yeah,
he just has to sit there and watch it.
The best part is we're sitting here talking to him and he's not even here yet. No, get hyped. It's going to be a lot of fun. RMRF, yes. Embassy Suites, I believe, is $131 a night. David Wilson, use the group code thing, and it's $131 a night, and it is higher than some of the other ones. But I promise you, it's worth it. Made to order breakfast. I'm talking like omelets, waffles, that kind of thing. Like full omelets, though, made to order. The breakfast alone is worth it. And then if they have it out there, they have a manager's reception for like an hour where you drink for free. Not condoning it, but just saying. And then it's like just across the street so we can walk everywhere.
Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy.
There you go. There's a discount code on the Twitters.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I just added the link to the stream description and clicked save. I don't know what happened there. But
I don't know if it saves it or not during a live stream while you're on.
I don't know.
I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, we have an awesome guest. I want to bring him right in because I'm super pumped to talk to Frank. Frank, you know him from all the things Frankly Built. How you doing, Frank?
Hi.
Should have.
How you guys doing? No, it's fine.
Love it.
Just chewing on a print.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, everybody needs their plastic fix sometime. Let's just.
Inhaling it through the lungs isn't enough most of the time. You actually have to ingest it, let it circulate. Yeah.
Shout out 3D Print Bunny. This Hexamesh is so awesome. I love this stuff, and it's printed in that spaghetti. I just broke it, by the way. It's printed in that spaghetti. Yeah.
When you saw it live, folks.
I bit it and I broke it. But that spaghetti. Oh, that's okay. I wanted to see how fast I could print this on my X1 Carbon. And it was fast, but it's probably not the best thing to do on an X1 Carbon or probably a P1P unless you slow it down.
That's a one of a kind. Like you could never replicate that by just clicking a button and loading some filament ever. Like that's a one of a kind piece.
Now it is.
It's on eBay. Authentic teeth marks.
It's about to be two of a kind if I keep going. But how you been, man? Before we get too far deep into everything, real quick at the beginning of the episode, who are you? What do you do? And where can we find you?
I'm Frank. I 3D print things, and I like teaching about 3D printing. It's not really the standard stuff. We're printing cosplay, props, all that fun desk stuff, and yeah, I love just sharing everything I'm learning, the goods, the bads of the whole hobby. There are frustrations that come with it, but if I can help people get past some of that, great. Yeah, I think that's it.
Nice.
That's me and Frank.
Well, and you do some amazing work. I mean, we can find you on I think your TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, everything.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I even have a Reddit, but we don't talk about
Reddit.
Nice. I need to dive in. I'm very, very seldom on Reddit.
Oh, it's fine. Stay away. It's awful. It's almost as bad as Twitter. Almost.
Is it really?
Almost.
So did you just recently make the Reddit page?
No, I've had the Reddit page when I lived back in Japan. I've had that Reddit page 8-9 years, but it's not my same name. Yeah, it's old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got
but
that.
I'll get sent my own Reddit stuff. People will either I'll share something and like it'll be a helmet or hey,
That's
this is Frank's
hilarious.
post. This is Frank's stuff, and I'm like, click my profile, dude. Like, or I'll get sent on Instagram like, hey, someone's using your pictures. I'm like, I can't change my Reddit name, and I have a lot of karma, and I really don't want to restart it. Also,
Yeah.
it is sometimes a little nice to post a little anonymously. Like, I have Reddit that has just a different username. It's like I can just share some stuff there and not worry about it, But yeah, I get like the police sometimes. Like, hey, you're stealing someone's stuff. Oh wait, it's you. Oh well.
Wait, so you get stopped by mods sometimes, thinking that you're stealing Frank's stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
I've
awesome.
gotten hit up by most of the mods on like the Marvel and the Marvel comics. They recognize my username now. I've talked to some of them on Instagram before.
Right.
So they recognize like a post or something. But yeah, I've been sent my own stuff by people like, hey, this dude's stealing your stuff. I'm like, brother, that's
so
me.
good.
It's fine.
So good.
Thank you. Like, thank you. Like, I always say thank you. Like, no, like that's awesome. Thank you for like that. That's amazing that especially if like my logo or something's in the background. It's like bold move, Cotton. If somebody was trying to steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, could you duck a minute? I need to take a green screen a screenshot. No.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. But I mean, first, how you doing? This is the first time we've had you on HotMakes, and man, we're super pumped.
I'm great. It's been a good year so far. 2022 was something. Big life change for me. It was something for everybody, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But now 2023. Let me silence that. Sorry. That'll get annoying quick. It's been good. This is my job now. YouTuber, content,
That's
all
awesome.
that. Content. Nightmare.
So you're doing that full time now?
Yes, sir. I got out of the military October 9th, 2022. And
Oh wow.
Congratulations.
So you've been doing this so you just started doing this full time last year?
Yep.
That's cool. Okay.
So 2023, it's been like my soft reopening. Like I've been trying to get a lot of things all my ducks in a row now that I have time to focus on this, getting on a content schedule, upload schedule, being able to go to a lot more cons and conventions because now I can.
Right.
So I got my website up. There's not much there yet, but there will be. It'll be like a landing page to kind of divert people in the right direction.
Nice.
This way I don't need to sort if people like ask like, oh, how do I get into this? I can just send them to my website and let them kind of parse through some stuff like, I want tutorials or it'll help. I think it'll help in the long run. But yeah, it's just
awesome, man.
it's getting the wheels going up. So it's exciting.
Well, first of all,
really cool.
congrats on getting out of the military, and thank you for your service in the military too, because that's important.
Hey, thank you for your tax money.
Hey, there you go.
I love the honesty.
There you go.
It was my paycheck for 10 years. Thank you for all you do.
I gotta
paying
know,
your
did you
taxes.
ever like show up in one of the Iron Man outfits or one of those like to
No.
post?
No.
So okay,
They asked. I always said no.
did they? Okay, why'd you say no?
I liked keeping it separate.
Yeah, that's
Even
fair.
though everybody at my work and a lot of people knew what I did, they knew I had a YouTube and stuff. And
Sure.
99% of the people were supportive. And even if they didn't understand it, they didn't care. It was like I didn't go to work every day. Like I didn't walk into work being like, "Hey guys, look at this helmet!" Huh? Like, I didn't bring it to work. I was still,
Right.
I was still a sergeant in the military, in the Air Force. Like I was a mechanic. I went to work, did my job, and But if people ask me about it, I talk about it. Like, "Hey man, don't you do some 3D printing stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, So I'm sure we've all had that coworker who like, they might have a fantasy team and they always bring it up, and you're like, "Dude, I don't care. It's cool that you care, but read the room, So yeah, it's been something.
That's awesome.
In the future, when we get in the future, we'll get you back on at some point, and we'll try to see if we can have that happen with Tim O'Sullivan too. I don't know if you've seen any of his stuff.
Oh yeah, I talk to him on Facebook all the time. Yep.
Yeah, Tim's an old friend of mine. He's been on the show quite a few times, and he does a lot. Like you guys have a lot of in common. Obviously, you're already talking, but
yeah, he's a good dude. I've been talking to him for 2+ years. He's old soul. When I first started getting going on all of this, I've been in contact with him for a while.
He wasn't doing much when I met him. He wasn't doing much. He made like a Iron Man bust that he dropped off at. I used to work for a 3D printer company that he bought his printers from that he used to make his 3PO and his War Machine costume. And he came and dropped off. Yeah, he came and dropped off the Iron Man bust that he had made, and I followed his stuff ever since. And he's only just. I mean, that was before he built his R2. That was way before he started working on his Grogu stuff. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
It's a small community. Like when you start getting into like, especially who's online on YouTube or who's like in like active, not just not intaking but actually outputting stuff. Like it gets real small real quick.
Especially when you get into like the higher tier stuff and the more complicated and higher quality stuff like that. Then the crowd just gets even smaller and smaller.
Yep, right. Absolutely.
And it's super cool that everybody kind of knows everybody eventually. Like I know Justin's saying we got to get Frank to Remurf. That's the Rocky Mountain Rep Festival, and it's right north of Denver. And
that'd be awesome if you were making
Denver's super easy to. While we're having that discussion, you're from the East Coast, right?
I am in North Carolina. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
You were correct.
Kind of. Yeah.
It's the 22nd and 23rd
of April.
Sorry.
Oh,
I should have specified.
I believe. What do I got going on in April? I have March. I actually.
Right?
Oh no! I'm sorry. I will be in the Bahamas on a cruise.
Hey, that's okay. Darn it! You'll be in the heat in the nice weather.
I'll be getting a tan and be drunk on a boat away from all of this. It's the worst. It's the freaking worst.
Terrible. Yeah, darn it!
I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to drop that.
I will give you my wife's number, and you can tell her that because I won't. So
I think I'm sick that day.
Yeah.
So shot every time I say Remurf. That'd be awesome. So let's talk about some of the cool stuff. You got a sweet helmet right there behind you. So you have so much awesome things, and that's a more recent one, right?
That's cool.
No, this is the old one.
Well, that's the old one.
This is the new one.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh man,
they're
weathered.
Yeah. So they're it's good. It came out good. This used to look like this, but when I brought it to, I think Silicon, I brought it to an event to display it on a table. It cracked. So I was like, cool, battle damage. I welded it back together, weathered it up, and then that gave me a reason to go back and make a new one. And then I realized like, oh wow, my paint skills have gotten better. So like I always try to improve. So I'm like, okay, this is my new clean one that I won't bring to a convention. This will be on my shelf.
So did I see that the old one had a magnetic skull cap on the back?
Yeah. So
that's cool.
It has a little elastic band in the top, and then just some magnets. So and they're just strong enough to hold it. So it's really quick and easy. Being able to put certain helmets on with one hand definitely helps instead of having to like fumble around. Like the Power Ranger helmet, I do need two hands for it. It's a very similar system, but just trying to get it lined up, it just takes two hands. It's not bad. Every helmet has its own little system to it.
Yeah, just like Clone Trooper helmets and Star-Lord helmets. Like it's just it wraps so far around the head that you can't get it on without having it in two pieces.
Here you go. Here's a before and after.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sweet.
Right. Sweet. Nice raw print. Let me get my camera to focus. This is off of I think an Ender 3 Max Neo. I do not remember what I printed this on. And then a little before and after.
That's so cool.
Well,
and I'm actually printing them in red now.
Yeah, oh, that's a good idea.
What do you
help the base layer?
So I really like Sunlu PLA Plus. It's just always been so consistent for me. One of the stronger filaments, like in terms of layer adhesion, I've gotten, and Creality printers just seem to eat it up really nicely. Yeah. I did just start messing with Polymaker Cos PLA, and you guys were talking about the X1 Carbon earlier. This is the P1P doing this hot beauty. Nice. This is a 3-hour print, and
that's some nice detail.
I know.
From a distance, the P1P be taking shots at resin. Like, it's not bad. It's a little chunky on the top, but I have another one in the garage that I all I did was prime it and covered it in chrome, and it looks nearly indistinguishable from this resin one. Like, this resin one is again just sprayed chrome, but
and I saw the post recently where you're like, I made this. You know, it was the prime. I think it was a primed helmet, and it had the bottom flip out, and I think you did that on the P1P, if I remember right.
The mask opening up.
How are you? I mean, my P1P is actually sitting right here, and that's an X1 Carbon.
What do you think of the P1P? You said you have a carbon. What do you think about the P1P?
I have 3 carbons in a P1P, but if that tells you anything, you know what? The P1P. If you are looking for a fast, solid PLA or low, basically anything that doesn't need an enclosure printer, dude. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but what else can print
it gave me
that fast and
it's so fast. It is. I was able to print like handles for don't fall. I like you. I was able to print handles for a katana in like 2-3 hours. Right. Because initially I realized I printed the file that didn't have the smooth texture on it. Get it. And I'm like, oh no, I need the ray skin version. So he cut me the file again with it, and within 4 hours I had both sides of it, and like
that texture just annihilates layer lines too. You can't tell.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And especially after I just hit it with some red paint, it like all but went away, and it helped a lot.
It's like, wait, that was 3D printed? What? You know what I mean?
3D printed at all.
So you asked me, what do you feel about the P1P?
I was angry at first when I got it. It wasn't working for me. I didn't like it.
Really?
It wasn't extracting the 3MF files properly, and I was trying everything. I was doing very small. Wasn't messing with any settings. I was just like drag, drop. I know how to maneuver my way around slicers pretty well, but it kept freezing. Like, only some of the stock files would print, but all the files I was dragging and dropping. I was trying OBJs, STLs. I was doing like really low poly, and it would freeze, or it would take forever to unzip. The screen would freeze after every print. I'd have to cycle power, turn it back on, and it's like this is. And somebody's like, "Oh, disconnect your camera because something." So I tried that. That didn't fix it.
Was it brand new?
Brand new, brand new.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that sounds like a slice. Was it the machine not extracting them right, or the slicer?
It was a machine. Once I would, it could have been, maybe the slicer could have been compressing them wrong.
Were you sending it via Wi-Fi or on the SD card, or both?
SD card. SD card. I went through a couple different SD cards. I formatted them. I did all the things you would do, and then they came out with a firmware update. But then around the same time they did the firmware update, I had found out how to export as G code instead of 3MF up in the top corner. That should just be a feature. I shouldn't have to go dig for it, but maybe one day they'll add it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that or the firmware update. I could test it by exporting. I haven't exported 3MF since. Works flawlessly now.
Right.
So definitely say I was getting real close to putting out the review video, and then it started working again. I'm like,
okay,
let me wait. Let me wait a little longer.
Take a minute. I know mine. When I have it set for an X1 Carbon, and I forget, I change it to the P1P, and I forget to take away the filaments. And I send something, it freaks out sometimes. But then I reslice it quick and resend it, and usually it's pretty good. I have had that issue though before that last firmware update. It just sat there, and then it would go down, and then it wouldn't do anything.
But it's working now. It's definitely been I just printed a Batman chest logo for the Red Hood costume.
Nice.
It was my first option. It was like, I need this right now. Oh, I have the P1P, and so it turned into a go-to printer.
the speed and like you just showed, the quality you can get. I don't know what layer lines you're printing at there or what layer height.
This was standard. This was this was a 0.2 millimeter layer height. This was standard quality.
So just 0.2. That's perfect. So I mean, the speed and the quality you get there, a lot of people have said this with the bamboo printers in general, and a lot of people in the chat have them, but it makes you like, all of a sudden you're like, man, I love 3D printing again. You know what I mean? Because it's so fast. And then you have 4 of them, and you're like, how do I keep them busy?
All my printers are off right now. They were running like a madman printing parts to a new suit, and I'm like, let me give them a few days break.
Yeah, nice.
What are you working on currently? What are you printing for?
Let's do it.
What's up?
What are you printing for? What are you working on?
I'm printing 2 whole new Iron Man suits. I'm reprinting this suit right here. So this is my first suit. It was the suit that got me into all this. It was like, I want to get into cosplay. I want to make an Iron Man suit. Boom, here we are. But I made so many mistakes with it. It's bad. Like I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I didn't know how to scale. You got to start
somewhere though, right?
Yeah. So this is just literally a monument to my failures. It works. It looks good. I know it. I can make it look good. I'm proud of it. But I know now, 3 years into this, having repaired this to God's end and done another suit, right. I know what I can do better now, and I like this suit. I want to make this my best suit. So I've grabbed this is Do3D's file, do 3Ds. Mm-hmm. And then I grabbed Vec 3D on Instagrams, and then Joe Props 3D. They all have the same suit, but everything's a little different. Sure. I'm printing all 3 of them, and I'm gonna mash them up together to get like the best fitment and look.
Nice. That'll be
and
cool.
It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a minute.
It's gonna take a minute. Yeah.
Battlecry is saying exactly what I was thinking a second ago. You were saying that was my first one, and that one was terrible, and I made so many mistakes, dude. That is leagues above like anybody's, most people's best.
But if people put in the time I put into, they'd come out. The only difference between me and somebody in the chat saying that is time. That's it. Yeah. That's it. There's no difference I wasn't born with anything better or different. Like it's just time. Sure. Mine's just 3 years ahead of yours. That's all. Now, if you go back and watch my first YouTube videos, you'll see those mistakes. Like, wow, I had to reprint that. That didn't fit. Oh, I broke this. Hey, that was a stupid. Right. I went through all of that, Now we're at here 3 years later, and I got it to look good. It did not.
And I bet you on the new ones, you're still going to break stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to happen. Easy. So that's part of the hobby.
If you're in the chat and you want to ask a question, ask questions. Yeah, we are going to toss them in there anytime we go. But what I guess what's your favorite? I mean, that's the one that got you started. What is your favorite suit? Is that it?
That's it. I've always loved Iron Man, but then like just seeing the Mark 85 and Endgame, it just hit all the right spots. It was just like, it's an Iron Man suit. I love the color distribution. I love the bulkiness of it. Like I was like, that's
more like muscular and form-fitting and less like a robot. Yeah.
It's supposed to be. It's an homage to the original Ditka Iron Man armor. That remember where he had the muscles, the gold muscles, and it looked like the red. That's what it is. That's why the biceps and the thighs are muscly, but all the red is armor. It's just supposed to look like that original suit.
Sure,
that's cool.
Okay, what's your most technological suit or helmet for that? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I saw you working on the helmet that kind of unfolds like the suitcase helmet, right? With all the separate
panels. Yeah, that might be it actually. The Mark V helmet. I shelved that. What I was trying to I need to get back into that and finish that helmet, but I printed the whole face in resin because I wanted the fitment to be like perfect. Yeah. But the resin pieces are a little too brittle for all the servos working against them. So immediately I snapped a few of them. So either I could reattack the resin or just print it in FDM. And now that I can get some pretty good quick FDM prints.
Right.
Yeah.
But all the servos are in it. The helmet's built. I have everything I need. I was like, this is frustrating me. I need to just
you step back for a minute.
Yeah. That's the big thing in making that I always try to stress to people. It's like, unless someone's holding a gun to your head and then you need to ask yourself like, well, how did I get here? Like take a break. Like relax. Like, I know I'm in a con crunch myself right now, but like, it's okay. Like, people get burned out. You can divert. You can take breaks. Right. Like, just relax. Like, there's no need to rush.
100%. And so that. Oh, geez, I just played a video on accident. Have you seen Chris Kersey's video with his helmet?
Yeah.
With the actual heads up display and the cameras.
I haven't met him in person yet. We've talked a lot. I've been talking to him for quite a while. He's been working on that for a while, and it's so cool.
Like what, a year and a half, 2 years?
Yep. Kersey Fabrication. He's such a nice guy too.
He is. He's a good dude. I think I gotta chat with him again. We're gonna have him on and show that off because that's cool. A sick build, and everyone's giving him a hard time. Like, Hacksmith did this kind of, but they didn't exactly do what he did. But he got his ideas from Hacksmith, which is
that's
why
fair.
not?
Well, to be fair, we're all just either copying Iron Man. Like nothing's.
Yeah.
Oh, Kersey's in the chat. Yeah, what's up, dude?
He shared the post that we made that we were.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Okay. I have an idea.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
I have an idea. Okay, so we need to get all of the big players in Iron Man cosplay and tech related stuff. So like Hacksmith, Frank, Kersey, Emily, just get all of them together and call it like the house party episode.
Ooh.
In one big like Iron Man.
How many people can stream in this at once?
10 on the screen, I think, or 9.
I think
9 or 10. Yeah. I think 9 on the okay. I have to look again. It's 9 on the screen and 10 in the chat, or 13. I don't know. Anyways, but we could do it.
It'll be the HotMakes house party episode. It's the house party protocol.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Yeah,
of course. I gotta show you this. So we were talking this, but there's the a little bit of
yes,
Chris's stuff.
It's so cool. It is.
Yeah.
And if Kersey's already getting those Hacksmith comments, good. That means people are paying attention. Like that means people are watching his stuff, and I get Hacksmith comments too. And like I'm like, other people can build and enjoy stuff. Like I love James, but like he doesn't have a copyright on making an Iron Man helmet with a HUD or like.
And he would be super pumped that other people are doing it too.
Oh my god! So, James was sharing it. James was sharing it on Twitter. Like, hey, look at this sick ass helmet. Like, he loves it. Mm-hmm. He's so much more involved in the community than I think people realize until you start getting around him. And he sends me memes like almost every day. They're usually about ADHD, but I get it.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I hope we can get him on the show sometime soon.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, definitely. And so let's see what else fun. You're working on a new suit there. What is, check the first comment on the video. I'll have to do that. I just closed it though. I'm anyways.
I got a lot going on. It's chaos. This, you guys might appreciate this. It's a combination. So the blade was printed on the CR30 belt printer, which I love that thing. Cool. This little piece was printed on the P1P, and so was the handle. But then these attachments here, the top and bottom, they're metal. They're metal 3D printed.
Oh, nice.
Through Proto Labs. They sent out 4 files, and they got me back these sintered, and
sweet.
They're so cool. Like
that is so awesome. Cool.
And this is a gross abuse of the technology. I am making a cosplay prop with this was expensive. They are sponsoring a project, so like I wouldn't have done this if they didn't flip that bill, because I could resin print this too,
Yeah.
But it's a cool I like it because it's like a cool combination of just the P1P, the new kid on the block, and then the belt printer, the weird cousin that no one talks about anymore. It's like, that's a thing that happened, but no one uses it anymore.
It's so weird how that's kind of like fallen off.
Yeah. Well, I think the people who do use it like for instance, Max Metalhead Printing, right? He uses his, you see it all the time on his stuff.
All the time. That's it.
And Pooch at Repcord.
I was talking to Pooch about I couldn't get it. I was using Creality belt and it just wasn't working. But then for some reason, Creality Slicer has an even better CR30 profile in it. And now my prints are fine. So I'm like,
nice.
It's the same slice. How did you mess this up?
I love it.
It works better if you stand on it.
Well, and then there's like, a bunch of people that use it, but like you said, it's just not prominent, like talked about anymore. To be honest, I just
the bamboo
literally
probably
gave my last one away to a friend that's going to use it way more than mine.
The bamboo, wow.
I think when the Bamboo came out, like the belt printer just kind of like people weren't talking about it as much.
It was so hard to use.
Yeah.
Like it was $1,000, you know, plus like
Right.
it was not. It was one of the hardest printers I've ever had to level and figure out and dial in, like unnecessarily.
Mhm.
But like it's also a very niche thing. How many people really and we're abusing it. Me and Metalhead, like it wasn't made for infinite Y. It was made for repetition. It was made for part, not par. You know, we're abusing it. It's not what it was made for. Pooch uses it right. He puts them on his wall, puts a box underneath it, and just prints.
Right, and he just lets it fly.
Which I'm actually mounting mine in my garage. Can't wait.
Nice. And then your swords will just come straight down.
That's it.
I love it, but it's perfect for that kind of stuff. You know, I think it brings out the importance of tools, the right tool for the job, right?
Yep.
I mean, you can print that on any printer you want and put it together, but you could print it in one extruded print on that printer, and that's what it is great at.
Yep.
You know, I think
I have a lot of swords I want to redo because they're all printed in pieces, but now I can make them even better. You know, it's just finding the time to do it.
Caleb, I think Ed C said it right. The problem with the belt printers, you had to learn how to re-slice everything a whole different way.
Yeah,
everything is you have to basically take what you know and like kind of relearn it just for that printer.
Yep.
It was like
kind of like going from FDM to resin.
FDM printing, you have to get used to that mindset of like everything's going up in layers, so you've got to like take gravity into play and add the supports, but then like resin is like, hey, all of that, turn it upside down, and then the belt printer was like,
I am so bad at resin.
45-degree now. Like
I'm so bad at resin printing.
Right.
It's not great. Because I'm always trying to save material and save supports, and that's not what you should be doing in resin printing. So
you got it.
It always bites me.
I have a secret. I ordered a Elgu Jupiter for the Kickstarter. Hasn't printed yet. I got it in September. I think I finally got it, and I have it out of the box. That's as far. I just don't have the time, and I need to get it dialed in, and I just need to take the time to do it. But it's one of those, like, it's sitting there. It's the biggest resin printer that I have, and it hasn't done anything.
Spending too much time trying to keep those 4 bamboos running.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty easy. I took them out of the box and plugged them in. I mean, that is one of the best things about those is that honestly, do
you think here's
the most simple thing to use?
Here's a hot take for HotMakes.
Okay.
Do you think bamboo? Do you think Prusa should be worried about bamboo, or is Prusa moving more to the kind of print farm setup?
I think 100% that this is gonna be awesome in the chat. Blow us up if you want. I think everybody should be worried about bamboo because they shook stuff up and made a $700 printer that's reliable, takes minutes to print out of the box, and not only that, but it will smoke 3 prints before your Ender 3 is done.
Yep.
You know, with one. And the technology and everything in them, but I really do. I think it's not just them. I think it's everybody. We're already seeing. I have one in my garage. Chris just unboxed it too. That Ghost 6 thing. You know, people are trying to replicate it already, and I mean, a Core XY printer has been around forever, right? They just did it different, and when you print with it,
they went with Tesla. They did the Tesla move. They started at the top. They started with an X1 carbon. They were like, here's our here's the top part we can.
Right.
Now let's strip it down, see if we can break the 1,000. They did. They $700 for that thing.
But I think there's also markets for all the above. If you're just getting into it and you don't want to spend that much money, grab a $230 Solvo SV06 and you'll have one of the best beginner printers you can ever have.
Yeah. I mean, who was just talking to me about that? Not Metalhead. Oh my God, Grant from 3D. He has one too, and he was like, "It's just a Prusa, like a Prusa clone."
It is the closest Prusa clone I've ever seen. Wow. That's the thing.
It's not good, huh?
It's. I mean, like if you look at it, it literally the extruder's different, obviously. But which way is this at? I don't know if you can see it because I'm going the wrong way. Oh, you can kind of see it. I'm not going to confirm or deny that this might be a plus version of that. But I can't confirm or deny that till February 21st. So anyways, but I can tell
that
you,
one.
It's, if a plus version were to exist and it was, I don't know, 300 by 300 by 340, it would be a pretty cool printer for something like a helmet. And and if a plus version were to exist, Prusa should have done that a long time ago, because everybody wants an MK4S that's that size.
That's all people have been asking for, and that's, I mean, one of the biggest deterrents for getting something like a Prusa, like a $900 printer. It's. I've always had my feelings with. Yeah, theoretically,
No,
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
We had a couple questions that people asked. Did you want to dive into those real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. I know we can keep talking about all sorts of printers, but
oh my god, yeah.
I mean, everybody should be worried. You gotta be better now. That's 2023 has to be better.
I think Soval and Elgu have looked at the market and been like, okay, we don't need all of these features. People literally just want a bigger, reliable printer. We don't need all this proprietary crap. Let's just put these out. And the Neptune series just erased Creality from the race.
The Neptune series. I honestly, I'm trying to remember. I had one. I think I do. Either I have it or I gave it to my uncle. I can't remember. And then the SV06 has the features though. You got bed leveling, you got Z leveling, or basically it runs up against the top like the Prusa does, right? It does. It has all the features that you want already, and
that's it.
It's crazy. All right, let's do it, Caleb. Let's just a couple questions. I think I saw one was, have you printed with a J1?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
That is this printer right here. That's a Snapmaker J1. It's the IDEX printer from Snapmaker.
That's right. I printed on the J1. No.
It's a weird bed size, but
what's weird about it?
It's just a weird bed size. I should take the plate off and show you. It's kind of a weird bed size, and I had good luck with it, and then I had bad luck with it, and then I had okay luck with it, and I had good luck with it, and it's it was like a year delayed.
I love my Prusa.
That is definitely allowed.
Absolutely,
both.
People need to realize that too. There's no reason to start a fight between the communities. For
no,
this.
Not allowed.
You can like them both. I can like Creality, and I can like Elgu, and I can like Prusa, and I can like Bamboo. I can like Snapmaker. Like, get over it. It's just a printer.
and no one can like Mingda. They're gone.
No comment.
And there are like 5 people out there that are still rocking their old Robo, like R1s or whatever.
Well, you remember the fires that ANET used to have? Anyways, so shots fired.
Shots fired.
They still have them.
Yeah. They still, if you didn't do something to fix it, it still happens. Spoiler alert. Okay, real quick, the bed size is 300 by 200 by 200.
That is weird.
It's weird.
That's like resin printer weird.
Here you go. This is the Snapmaker J1. The problem is it came out a year after it was supposed to. It's IDEX. Well, it's fast IDEX.
Snapmaker. They're not known for speed.
Two nozzles.
A net by Bic.
Yeah, it's IDEX. Yep. And it's fast when it's dual color. It's fast because you don't have to swap the filament back and forth, right? But here's the problem I have: it's $1,200 on sale.
Ew,
that's not.
Great.
I'm not gonna lie.
For an IDEX, gross.
It's supposed to be fast. It literally, I believe.
You know what's fast with multicolor printing? It's behind you.
Yeah, so
it's reliable.
Well, what's funny about it is if they put it out a year ago when they were supposed to, it would have been hot on the market because it was a year delayed.
Yeah,
and
do that.
It's not a bad printer, and if you like IDEX and you're going to use it for multicolor soluble supports, it's fast-ish. It's twice as fast as an Ender 3, but the acceleration is half as fast as this.
Yeah,
and
I'll do it.
It's not a bad printer. I've had some issues with layer shifting and stuff, but that's all besides the point. The thing is, you haven't printed with one, is what you said. That was the question.
Correct.
And I think I'm trying to come up with a case that you would. I mean, with what you do.
So I do have people a lot of times ask for IDEX printers. The SVO4, that's probably one of the more common ones on the hobby level common ones on the market right now. There's none I recommend or tell you. I don't need to. I paint everything. I could print in any color filament except white. Never. If you're doing props or cosplay, for the love of God, never print in white filament. No. You can't see where you sand. You can't see where you sand it because when I start to sand this red, it's going to discolor. It's going to turn matte. I'll know there's layer lines there. White, you can't. You have to prime it first.
I've made that mistake a few times.
Yeah, it's. Avoid white.
White is really difficult. It's really difficult, at least for me, to find a white that actually prints well because the amount of like pigment they have to put in the filament in order to make it white.
It ravages your nozzle too. It's not good on the nozzles.
It destroys your nozzle. You end up with weird the like zigzag layers.
That was a good one. I almost had to beep you.
All right.
Hey, we have another question that's actually really good for Frank. I have a question. I'm currently printing an MK3 suit, and are there any big things I should look out for? Any general advice with constructing a suit like that? That is like the perfect question right up there.
How much time you got?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. There are a few things, absolutely, that people overlook when they're building their first suit. First, scaling. You're going to mess it up. You are going to print parts that do not fit you. Strap in. It is. Armor Smith is great.
Question on that.
Armor Smith is great. It isn't perfect. Even 3D scanning your whole body, which I'm about to do, isn't perfect because yes, the part will fit, but then when you bend your arm, things collide, and then you realize that the ab plate comes around here, and then the bicep touches it, and there's a lot of weird things with scaling, and it's a lot of trial and error. But at the end of the day, remember, it's plastic. Heat guns, Dremels, soldering irons, it's plastic. Cut it, warp it, heat it. Like, do not be afraid to. Oh, I can't. This helmet's a little squishy. I have turned my oven on, thrown the helmet in there for a few seconds, taken it out, and then you just open it. Or you'll take like a marker or something, or like a toothpick, and you'll just stretch it out and then take a heat gun to it. Like it's plastic. It's not complicated. Get the suit fitting. Like once it's printed, make sure you are 1000% comfortable in the suit first. Before you think about electronics, before you even consider painting it, like make sure you can wear that entire thing comfortably. And then, because that's a mistake I made with this thing. I painted it while I was trying to fit it, and I scratched the paint and messed it up. Get the whole thing fitted. If you need to do reprints, like wear it around your house, walk around, see how things feel. Make sure people can help you suit up if they need to or whatever. And then move into your paint and I would do the electronics first and then do your paint.
That's good advice.
A labor of love.
Make sure it fits and it's comfortable first. And a lot of people who will tell you make any of these suits will tell you they're not comfortable for a long period of time anyway.
7 hours is my record. Foot comfort. That's something people overlook because they're like, oh, I stand all the time. This will be easy. Right. Yes, but now you're standing a little more pronounced than you normally would. You're also trying to balance yourself. You're also sweating and bloating and tired. Your feet, if two things will make me tap out of the suit. I'll get a headache first from the helmet just being a little tight.
Sure.
Or my feet start to hurt because you can't sit. So if you're standing there walking around in your house and the knees are pinching in just one little spot and you're like, that's not too bad. Give it 2 hours of that. It's going to be that bad. So knee comfort, foot comfort, insoles, pads, like be comfortable in. Even if it means sacrificing a little bit of accuracy, I promise you, if you go to a convention or an event and you're in an Iron Man suit and your hand lights up and maybe your mask opens, no one's going to give a crap what your shoes look like. No one's looking down. Hey man, Iron Man doesn't wear Converse. Shut up. Like I'm comfortable, be comfortable in the thing. Armor bites are real, Jason. Yes. I have scars from it. Kiera definitely has scars from it.
If you're not careful, you'll straight up start bleeding.
Oh yeah, I have bled. I have absolutely had pinches on my sides of my stomach and stuff from just panels.
When I had my Stormtrooper costume, I got those right here.
Where the armor, all the time. I'll get them
a little bit more.
I'll get them right here from where there's a point on the bicep, and if I try to lift my arm up too much, it'll like dig. Yeah, it bruises you.
I gotta say, I give props to Christoph. He did that props, huh? He did that Master Chief, and he wears that thing freaking all night, like at dance clubs and stuff. I'm just like, I don't know how you do that.
Well,
he's like 7 foot tall already.
That costume design, like to begin with, and also the proportions that he put it together in are just right, where you've got just the right kind of gaps in the right kind of spots.
Yes,
I think
not discounting Halo armor at all, but like it's meant to have, like, especially around the midsection, there are supposed to be more gaps. Well, more, I'd say it's closer to a Stormtrooper suit than it is to an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, if you really look at the Halo armor, like you just assume the whole body has armor, but if you really just kind of sit there and look at the details, it's really just like a chest piece and like a metal diaper, and then the rest of it's just an undersuit. Like, you have
metal diaper
room.
There's a metal diaper right here. Look at that. Metal
there you go. I would call that more a cod piece.
Metal diaper.
I love it, but that's great advice.
You just said you had a follow-up to that?
Yeah.
Well, two things. One, I think the worst example of that would be, like I said, where like we were talking about Tim O'Sullivan earlier. He and I were at Celebration in Chicago quite a few years ago, and like it took him like an hour to put on his 3PO costume. He could only stay in it for about 45 minutes, and then he had to get back out because the way it was pinned, the way you have to stand, and there's no
timer
rest at all. Yeah.
Well, and when he's in that though, he's in character.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah.
You know, he's very much like moves in character. It kind of has to at that point, but
there's a magical timer that goes on above your head, and in my suits, it's once the legs are fully on. Once the legs are fully on, a clock appears above my head, and it could be 8 hours, it could be 5 hours, but that's when the timer. That's your health bar, and it's tricking down. And nothing you do, not a single thing, will make that timer go up, but the wrong move, the wrong pinch will just chop time off of it. Oh, you moved wrong, there's an hour gone because that hurt a lot. So it's your health bar is just draining, and then eventually you hit a point where you're like, I'm done. And then you need to walk back to get undressed, and you're gonna get stopped for pictures. So you're like,
so you better get out of there an hour early. That's a really good analogy. I like that a lot because
it's awful.
It's definitely. I think most cosplay is like that too. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're just in like a soft outfit or whatever it is.
There's a time limit. There's a time limit.
I do have to ask, Consuming Fire Design, earlier you said you had ordered a J1 2 years ago. You finally got it, and then you won the X1 from us in December. One of them is running and one of them is stagnant. Which one's running? I got to ask you.
I think we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a Stormtrooper costume for like 2 years, 3 years, and then I haven't been in the Legion in a while now, but I'm working on a Del Mico, one in the Infernal Squad right now, and that's still going to be super, super sweaty. But the fact that the only armor that's on it is the chest and the back plate, the rest of it is just soft parts. I'll be able to sit down. I'm looking forward to that.
Tell me, can you describe what it's like to sit in your costume? I would love to know. Sounds great.
Okay, so hear me out. I was able to sit down in my Stormtrooper costume too. It just took 2 people. So I would have to disconnect the straps going from my chest piece to my abdomen piece.
Yeah.
And then I would have to have one person on each arm. I would stick my legs straight out and hold them straight, and they would lower me into a chair, and I would just sit there with my legs straight out. I would get some rest.
The struggle is real, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I just want to make sure. That's funny. Ed C. Frank survives the Air Force but barely comes out alive from a Comic-Con.
So it was WonderCon, 7 hours. Me and Danny. It was never again.
7 hours, my gosh. Well, I tell you, we got some time left. Let's hit some HotMakes quick, Caleb.
Oh wow, I didn't even realize what time it was.
Yeah, I know we're having we could probably go for another 2 hours, but I know we should probably not hold everybody.
All right, and I've made this quieter now, so your headphones shouldn't explode. Let's go.
What? No, that still was loud.
Was it really?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just giving you a hard time. Let us know if you guys thought it was super loud out there, because
Yeah, Shane says,
was about
"Wow,
the
reasonable
same.
audio levels."
No, it sounded fine up here.
Yeah, the audio levels were blown out on that like bumper.
Return of
like,
the King.
meter.
Oh, I love that thing. Look at that.
Yeah, First Layer. Our friends over at the First Layer, let's see. Upon it sat a shape. Here we go. Return of the King.
That's so gorgeous.
Gotta dig it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
That's a cool film.
Where, like, the texture is so well done that it's hard to tell that it's got layer lines.
Yep.
Yeah, I love
Philo
when
Alpha
filament does that.
So like I thought the areas on like the cheek pieces, the spikes on the cheeks, I thought those were layer lines, but they're not. They're part of the design because they're going like at an angle.
No, that's that's a good 3D print just for I don't want to have to touch this.
Right. And there's some in there, but you know what?
You can see, it lends to it though. It lends to it.
You have to, exactly. You have to look
the layer
up close.
I
I think this is awesome, Richard.
Awesome.
Nice work. This thing.
Did he say if he painted it, or is that fresh off the printer?
Yeah,
that's fresh. That has to
definitely
be.
not painted. Yeah.
Oh no, copper fill and magnetic iron, both oxidized.
There you go.
That's even cooler.
Well, and that's the base. That's this one.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the copper fill and magnetic iron and then the oxidized.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think that's it. No, yeah, that's a pretty sweet print there. Nice work. All right, what else we got? Cool. Liz.
Ooh.
I designed a container for the spiral vase roses. I love these. She already had these. The roses were awesome, but now she has a sweet container for them.
Yeah, those
are so cool.
They print upside down with no supports or anything, and then you just peel them off. So that top kind of like spirally section is where the bed, like sitting on the bed.
And then they pop together, or she does a filament swap.
No, the bases are separate.
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
Are separate.
Yeah, and they're awesome. I love this idea. And if you want to give the Valentine's Day roses that don't die, in a week.
This is the perfect thing when your wife is your SO is like, you got that printer if you never printed me anything.
Yeah, I have so many. Yeah. She has so many. She's gonna start giving them away on MakerDeck. No, I just made that up. But I know what I'm. Yeah, nice. I know what I'm getting for Valentine's Day now. I love it. Kayla says. So yeah, nice work. I love these boxes. The boxes look cool, and it's perfect to put them in. Why didn't I like that already? All right, what else we got next? Ashley Dilson made a conversation heart candy bowl to heart.
All right,
to hold my conversation hearts.
What are your guys' thoughts on these? Do you like them or do you not like them?
Well,
they're just like
candy.
The candy. They're just like candy corn. You eat a couple because you're like, these are delicious, and then after like one, it's like, these are disgusting. What am I doing?
But for me, they have to be fresh and soft. I hate when they're hard. I'm not a fan of the hard one. Yeah. I'm not a fan of hard candies, hard cookies, anything like that. But
the stems are separate. The roses printed base mode and work very well. That's really cool. Those are really pretty.
But I love the idea of the conversation heart to hold the conversation hearts. Sweet idea. Nice work.
David Wilson says they need water.
Yes.
What are you eating, like cereal?
Oh, you know what? I wonder how the candy hearts would go like cereal.
Like
I imagine they would just taste like Lucky Charms.
Once they get soft, they're just Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's oops, all marshmallows.
I gotta say, Sam came back after we gave him such a hard time last week and said, "Are we good, decal fans?" He actually peeled the backing off. So last week he had this on here, and the backing was still on it, and then he actually peeled the backing off of it now. So we didn't get it. And Sam, I know you're watching.
The edge of desk. That's amazing. Can he come take pictures of my car? Because that's a good angle. He has.
You're right.
Can I book you for a photo shoot, dude?
So they gave me such a hard time for doing a crappy desk review that the edge of desk came instead of the edge of tech, and that became a thing.
Even after I was done editing that video, I think I texted you and was like, "Hey man, here's the video. That one was rough."
There's the actual. There you go.
Soggy Oreos, real. I'm about to do I'm about to do my probably first like really bad negative review video, and I'm a little excited about it. It's not about a print, but oh yeah, can't wait.
What is it?
All the sauce.
Can you tell us?
It's about a lightsaber. It's about a lightsaber company.
Ooh.
Okay.
A lightsaber company.
Does it have tip drag though? Do you keep getting those advertisements?
One of them is tip drag.
Yeah. I've been doing that. You know how like sometimes Facebook will just feed you an advertisement over and over and over again. Yeah, I'll just be scrolling and I'll get. Does it have tip drag though?
I don't think we can talk about tip drag here.
Children.
The question is it tip drag just on the tip or
it's just the tip?
Just
okay.
Okay.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
All right, what do we got next? Here.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Actually, Sir Will.
Wait, what the heck?
I can watch this thing over and over.
Who did this?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
On a P1, he bought that. Okay, he bought that on Etsy. I know of the link for that. He's lying. Okay, so you want the secret? You want a funny secret behind this little video I took?
We need to let this guy know he's ripping off Frank's stuff.
He's stealing my stuff. I'm manually controlling that.
Sure.
It's not programmed yet. It's just a hot wired servo. I'm actually off screen the wires. I actually have a battery. I'm touching the wires too because when I assembled this, it was just to make sure everything closed and fit. So I was able to take it apart and then go paint it, But this is what I was talking about with like the suit, like make sure everything works first, get it fit, make sure it's good, and then go and do the other stuff.
Don't worry about the other stuff. That is so. But I gotta say, Sir Will is right. I could watch this all day.
I like it. I can't wait to get it painted and the eyes and all that. It's replacing this helmet right here. This helmet's broken up here, so that helmet in the clip is going to be the upgrade.
This is how you have so many views on this. People are just putting it on replay.
It's satisfying.
It's a good loop. That wasn't on accident.
I love it. No, it's perfect.
What do you got, Caleb? What's up?
So is the video reversed, or does it go through and then reverse, or is it actually the closing motion?
No, I open it and I close it, and then it just starts again. Yep.
So it looks like when the mask goes up, there's that extra little kind of like flip up at the end, and then it does that little flip on its way back through. So is that intentional? Because at first it looks like
it's because of the arms. It's there's two. If you let it play right there, you can just barely see the helper arms on the side. They're like connected near the temples, and that's it. Yeah, so that's the lever action. As the servos are bringing it down, it slides it forward and then slant. It's just the angle that it's at.
See. Yeah, so that looks.
So good.
I'm just not understanding it. It looks like it's gravity as it like pulls up. It just kind of flops back, but then it does the same thing forward. And then there's that extra little what's that extra little platform on the inside?
Here, that's holding the servo.
Let me top this off.
There you go.
So it's just that angle as the arms in the middle drive it up. These arms here hit their limit, and then it brings it back. Okay. Because these arms in here never stop moving. The ones
I didn't
that are
realize
actually
there
driving.
were 4 arms in there.
Yep,
I didn't realize that part.
See?
Okay,
so the two in the middle.
My other question, because I was wondering what that extra little like platform on the inside of the mask was. That's just the top of the helmet.
Exactly. So we're working on what I would ideally love, and I think everybody in the Iron Man community would love, is a mask that opens without these little helper arms, because they take up space. They just take up a little bit of space, and they're a little hard to install sometimes. So it would be cool if we were able to make a gear or an arm system that the mask just opened by itself and these arms weren't here. It would just look a little cooler. That's all.
Those tiny little details, man.
Yeah, it is. And I fixed some dude. Fix some dude needs to make this happen. We need we'll make a great cuckoo clock where our DJ pops out and tells the time. I love that idea. It's like
I like that.
It's 9 o'clock.
And it catches the hair. I have had my hair pop out before. I've never had it like ripped away. Like I've never had a hair pulled, but I've had hair like stick out the top of it. Even when the mask closes, I'd have like a little tuft hanging out.
I imagine I would have one hell of a time in that.
Yeah. The way you worded that, have your hair pop out, I just imagine like your whole like chunk of hair pops off like a Lego. Like
it comes up and my hair is like draped around the top of the mask, and then the face mask closes and it's still like hanging out the top of it. Oh Jesus!
Hey, you could do a
All
Predator costume and just have your hair come out the back.
That's it. That's your cosplay,
There
right?
good.
Embrace it.
Well, Sir Will, I had to give you props on that one, and
I also still think
love that mechanism.
Jim could cosplay as Sigourney Weaver as well.
That's where my mini came from. Remember?
Yeah.
Wexter's Sigourney Weaver mini, and then he like morphed it into me. It was amazing. All right, Adam, Vector 3D.
What's this? This is gonna be big.
This is a large.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
This
oh
is
my
cool.
god.
Yeah.
Does it say how long it took him?
Neptune 3 Max.
1.3 millimeter perimeter.
No
Does it say how
times.
long? Just shy of max height.
Final weight. How strong? How is nobody asking how long that took? That should be my first question.
Oh, right here. How long did it take? 18 hours in the end. That's actually not bad.
So is that printed in base mode?
It had to have been.
It has to be. And here, the walls are 1.3 millimeters thick. That has to be what
yeah. So he had the settings up top. We could probably deduce this, but an 18-hour print.
Let's see. Did he?
Wow, that's incredible. That's huge. That's a trash can. The man printed a trash can.
Heck yeah.
That can't be a whole spool of filament though, right?
It might be close.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, how many colors?
It's probably it's a rainbow spool. But I'm wondering.
Not bad.
Now we need to know. We need to know the answers.
I'm just imagining that gif of Zach Galifianakis with all the math formulas floating around his head. Like,
yes.
Yep.
I wish I knew.
I have a Max too, and I think that printer is awesome. It's what printed this whole chest plate behind me and stuff. And
nice.
It just works, and it's half the price of the CR10 Max. It's
huge though. That's a flipping huge printer.
So and see, just like he's having a typo problem today.
I love it.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got last but not least. Let's see. Lightspeed, latest creation. I'm selling these on Etsy. I had to show this. I think he actually has it. Maybe even on things now.
That's so cool.
Steven's been making some cool stuff lately.
For those of you who want to give a ring in geek fashion, this is perfect.
So
and then
cool.
I love Things' response. It comes out and says, "Nothing says I choose you like a Pokemon ring box."
better than Gotta Catch 'Em All.
You know what would be even better in this? The one ring in the center of that.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It kind of
looks
does actually.
But that would be
wrong
awesome.
genre.
Yeah. Well, like it's a mashup, it's a mashup.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna look real quick too. I'm pretty sure he dropped it on Things as well. And I say that because I was looking for something to film a short on, and I do see it on Things. The Pokemon ring box is out there with all the pieces. So check it out on Things. If you go to the Things
that's cool.
website, it's right on the front page.
I like how it's either a ring box or a kid's party favor box.
Yeah.
Tell you what, the best move Fangs ever did was actually showing pictures of the printed thing, not just the 3D models with no context when they first launched. We remember the dark days.
Yeah. Well, and what's cool is when we started working with Things a couple years ago now, they were like, "Oh, we got a million models now upload." Scrubbed and all that. Now they're at 15,272,400. It's like what
wow.
The heck? So John, if you're watching, hit me up. I know we were going to talk soon, so I know John likes to watch from Things, and he chatted me at the end of last week and said, "Hey, let's talk."
Marvel should give you a cameo, Frank. No,
yes,
we stay on opposite sides. They let me exist for whatever reason, and I'm grateful. I won't press my luck there. The premieres and stuff were enough. I'm good. I'm happy.
That's awesome. Well, and that's I know we're already 7 minutes late, but really quick, that is a thin line when you're doing something that's licensed and you're making a thing that they could easily just go crush. That's a very thin line between like fan art and them saying, hey, you can't do this. How do you navigate that, or you just do it and see what happens,
Unfortunately, it is a fine line of just kind of, as stupid it is to say, like, keeping your head down. Realistically, it's about their wallet, right? It's about, are you cutting into their
Right.
purse? If you're affecting their revenue, if you're affecting their image, that's when you start getting people to notice who you don't want to notice. I like to think the fact that I think the right people have noticed, people on the Marvel Instagram pages, people who have invited us to premieres, like those are the right people. And Marvel is very active in their own cosplay community. Every time somebody sees my Iron Man suit at a con, they think of Iron Man. It's free advertisement. I'm sure I could take a real hard left turn on my YouTube and probably start doing some really not great things in my Iron Man suit. And I'd probably get a cease and desist quite quickly, but I haven't done anything like that. Then there's the side of Etsy with people selling things, and that's a risk. It's just a big risk all the time. And that's my wife, actually. You should the comment.
Nice.
she's watching. She's watching. Yeah. Hi. It's a fine line. At any point, they could just take down my Etsy shop, but they'd also have to take down everybody's Etsy shop who does it, set the legal precedents, but you also don't want to mess with the mouse.
Right.
It's very counterproductive for me to try to grow my socials, but then also be like, hey, I might also be making money off of this. I know the Etsy definitely can't last forever. Maybe just raw prints. But it's just weird. It's a weird space to navigate. At the end of the day, it's all their IP. Is me dressing up and making tutorials and videos on how to make this stuff transformative? I think so. I think there is an argument for that. I'm transforming the medium and showing people how to create this stuff, to make fan art, to cosplay. I'm not showing them how to make a helmet to sell it. I'm showing them just how to make the helmet, So there's definitely a balance there. And it's
I got a lot of static. I keep getting static on my last.
Frank, I would like to introduce you to the Marvel Disney lawyer that we brought on the stream today.
That's not funny, man.
I did a video about acrylic, and I showed a Harry Potter crest, and it wasn't anything special. It was just the Hogwarts crest. And I keep getting comments. Yeah, sure. Show licensed stuff and see how fast there you go. Yes.
Oh, nice.
See how fast you get shut down, etc. And it's like, I didn't show you to go steal the file or anything. Actually, I bought that file from someone who created it. But for one, but for two, I didn't show you where to get it. I showed you how to burn or etch the acrylic to make whatever you want.
Exactly.
And I think people, they see that stuff and it's like, oh no, but if you go on Etsy and search whatever you want, you're going to find a lot of it. And there are unfortunately people that do get taken down.
There's one. Hop on Etsy and search the word Fortnite.
Really?
Like the game? Yeah. Nothing.
Really?
Epic. Oh man.
Yeah. You really shut the hammer down?
Oh yeah, nothing. Because I had made an Iron Man helmet that was based on the Fortnite Iron Man Mark 85, and I was trying to sell it. I'm like, I don't need this anymore. Let me go see what other people are selling them for.
Right.
And I typed in Fortnite Iron Man, nothing came up. I'm like, okay. Wow. Then I just typed in Fortnite, nothing came up. Like,
wow.
So we're just gonna call this Battle Royale Iron Man and get rid of it immediately.
Like, wow.
Yep. Yeah, they cracked. And then the same with Mickey Mouse stuff.
I've never seen an IP that has just completely successfully.
They did it. Wow. You can't post. Even if you post, you immediately get a DMDC. It's quick. Pretty impressive. And anything with Mickey Mouse, never, ever. Marvel's pretty cool. Disney seems pretty cool with a lot of things. Disney princesses and stuff. Don't you ever try to sell anything with Mickey Mouse, Donald, or Goofy on it. Whole book. Yeah. You'll start like I had this really funny TikTok or like idea where I find like a 3D model of Mickey Mouse and I'm like, man, I'm going to print this. And I slice it and bring it to my printer. And then I walk out and then I walk back in. And then there's just a lawyer sitting on the printer. Like, did you think that was going to work?
I'll actually post that one tomorrow. Thanks for the idea.
No problem. I'm here for you. I'm here for you.
No, that's awesome. Well, I don't want to keep everybody, especially you. So one more time before we go, who are you? Where are you from? And most importantly, where can we find your work?
Hey, yo, I'm Frank from New Jersey. No, I am actually.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here. So no, I'm Frank. If you guys want to learn anything more about like building any of this stuff, my YouTube, Frankly Built, and I will teach you how to do literally 99% of the stuff that's behind me, and it's fun. It's a cool community. It's a smaller subsect of the 3D printing community, or however you want to look at it. But yeah, go check it out. You'll have fun.
Nice. Awesome. Links are in the description below if you want to check that out, or you're watching.
Everything's down there.
And yeah, well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on, taking your time to hang out with us.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome. This was. If you ever need a little slot, hit me up.
We actually need one this year, every week. And no, I'm just
let's
joking.
do it. Let's do it. I'm down.
Are you free?
Mondays at 6.
Are you free? Are you free always, forever?
Yeah.
I can work it in.
What is this episode?
My people call your people.
What are we on? 133? Yeah, we're on 133 of this show, and I did 32 episodes of a different show before this on Mondays, and it's been interesting. It's been a long journey, but it's a lot of fun, and I love seeing what the community does. I love talking to makers and creators like you, and it's just we definitely appreciate you taking the time to come hang with us. Nice, there you go. So go check out his stuff. Grand said it. Is that your grandma? Is that
Grand watching?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm joking. Awesome, everybody. Well, you have a great one. Frank, hang out. We'll be right back with you. But everybody else, have a great night. We will see you next week. I don't remember if we have a guest on next week, but we'll post it soon if we do. I have to look at the calendar. Yeah. Hang on. Give me a second.
Nope.
I might have dropped something on the calendar already for this.
Oh, did you?
Maybe.
Are we gonna really stop the?
I don't know. I'll find out. Maybe
Chris
Kirsty will be with us next week. I don't know.
Oh, hey.
I got to look at the calendar, but you guys have a great one. We'll see you next week. And, have fun. Keep making. And thank you for joining us tonight. See you later, everybody.
Later. Bye.
Peace.